Aries. Aries symbol today is good for thinking outside of the box about financial matters, dear Aries. Analyzing past patterns can help you make better decisions. Still, it's probably best if you avoid focusing too narrowly and instead keep some of your options open. Perceptions are a little murky, making it best to wait and see. As the day advances, a Mars-Jupiter influence ramps up enthusiasm. You are invested in your relationships of all kinds these days. However, you may swing between wanting to be close and involved to preferring some freedom to detach easily. There is a middle ground with all of this, and it would be in your best interests to find it. If you go to extremes, you might lose both options, but if you compromise, you may have a little less, but you'll have both. Also, avoid situations that can get you into debt, not just with money but also through overcommitment, as the tendency today is to overreach. If you approach any problems that arise as stimulating challenges, you're in the right mindset to overcome them and learn from the process. Taurus. Taurus symbol you can be excited about a longer-term plan, project, or group endeavor today, dear Taurus. You might feel quite inspired by something shared with a friend or in your network. Inventive new ideas, dreams, and possibilities can figure strongly now. Perceptions are not hugely reliable today, however. And, as the day advances, a Mars-Jupiter square comes into play. It can undoubtedly stir your enthusiasm, but people in your life can be pushy, animated, and perhaps overactive in your eyes. Ego issues can emerge in your work, with those in authority, or with significant people in your life. This aspect seems to pit your passion for a relationship against your ambition. If at all possible, avoid promising action on something just for the time being, as you tend to overestimate your ability to follow through on it. Keep in mind that working through relationship issues should be a priority with so much emphasis on your partnership sector these days. However, you can be a little impatient today, so keep that in mind before jumping into something you haven't yet scoped out. Gemini. Gemini symbol you could find yourself somewhat restless or seeking inspiration today, dear Gemini. It's best to consider your options without committing or making final decisions. As the day progresses, succumbing to impatience can interfere with the fun potential of the day. You may feel overextended, or the desire to push a project forward can lead to costly mistakes. Aim to tune out distractions so that you can focus on working through things one at a time instead of scattering your forces and spreading yourself too thin. You may want to watch for a tendency to push and prod. There could be a bit of a race going on today when it comes to taking care of your daily duties and responsibilities or dealing with errands and tasks. Wanting to get your work done and seeking non-routine experiences are both genuine and insistent needs, but overdoing both can only lead to exhaustion. Cancer. Cancer symbol try not to allow lack of clarity to drag you down today, dear Cancer, especially since there is terrific energy for opportunities to learn and heal. Watch for impulsive decisions and an overly competitive or defensive disposition with current transits egging you on. If romance, entertainment, or creative activities have recently drained you, you might realize now that you need to rein things in. Romantic energy is intense today, although it can also be excessive. Aim to enjoy what you have instead of focusing too heavily on what you're craving. The day's transits tend to produce over-the-top promises or expectations. As such, it's best to avoid promising more than your capacities. In turn, believing promises made to you today may not be your best bet. They may be well-intentioned but could happen in the heat of the moment. Aim to determine the cause of inner restlessness. Your desire to feel, play, and enjoy life to the hilt is strong these days, but watch for the tendency to overestimate what you can handle in a relationship. Remind yourself that more is not always better or necessary. You might aim to take on a reasonable challenge to more thoroughly enjoy the extra dose of enthusiasm the day supplies. Leo. Work or business can do well if you apply non-traditional thinking to them these days, dear Leo. The desire to innovate is strong. Still, today's energies can inflate expectations, and it may be better to consider options without yet locking anything down. There's some tendency to push something too hard or go to excess. It's all too easy to instigate conflicts if you feel cooped up and restless. Watch also for stubbornness with opinions since debates can get overly personal today. It would be nice if rewards were instant, but if you shoot too high, there can be unnecessary frustration. Shared activities can be particularly appropriate now. Aim to take advantage of the extra energy or enthusiasm you have now by pouring it into something constructive or physical without overdoing it. Taking a detour from your usual routine can keep emotional excitement levels high. Virgo. Today, an idea can inspire you and set off interesting tangents of thought, dear Virgo. You're seeking a boost to your spirits, but today's transits could be a little misleading. You might realize that you have too much on your plate, or you have to work around scheduling problems. It can be challenging to determine how much you can do or take on since your desire and reality are mismatched just for now. You can become quite worked up about a method or idea, with mental energy running exceptionally high. Debates can quickly escalate. Your mind can race, and there can be many exciting ideas, but distractions, restlessness, or duties can keep you from fleshing them out or making them work. Do your best not to rush things. Try to treat conversations as intellectual gymnastics now rather than taking things to heart. Libra. Today's energies challenge you to let go of familiar patterns of thinking and create new ones, dear Libra. Even if you disagree with others on some points, you're certainly finding things to stimulate your mind. However, the temptation to borrow from your future is high. You might end up overestimating something now with Mars, currently in your finances and values sector, in hard aspect with Jupiter in your risk-taking, playful solar 5th house. Borrowing from your future is not only about money, although it certainly covers it. It can also include jumping into new situations without considering consequences and making promises or commitments that future you may not be able, or want, to keep. Aim to wait for a day when your judgment and patience are in better form. You might also feel the need to defend your values today. The tendency is to burn out quickly if you run ahead now, so consciously slow yourself down. Scorpio. Today's transits leave you searching for some inspiration, dear Scorpio. It's best to consider options rather than lock anything down today, however, since the day's transits tend to blur your perceptions. There can be a lot of revved up energy to deal with as Mars in your sign pushes you to get things done and take on challenges. However, Jupiter is challenging Mars, which can stir restlessness, or it could convince you that you need to take on more than you can reasonably handle. Watch out for both scenarios, and create your own. You might find ways to release tension and take action that has low stakes or that involves putting anger behind you. It's vital to avoid expecting instant results for your efforts. Skipping steps can lead to future problems, so try to slow yourself down while maintaining the optimism you're enjoying. The desire to push personal plans can conflict with family pursuits or interests now. Try not to focus too hard on your ideal scenario because it takes energy away from productivity in the present. Sagittarius. Restlessness and overshooting may need some taming today, dear Sagittarius, but it's a good day to stretch your thinking. It can be challenging to know where to channel your energy. Strong pulls towards private or alone time are with you now. Even so, daily business, contacts, and projects are a high draw, making it difficult to know where to begin. Whether or not the pace around you is hectic, you can feel a little rushed or pressured. You may want to enjoy a new activity or participate in something you haven't done in a while. However, don't go so hard that you overextend yourself. Generally speaking, it's a better time for taking it easy, healing, and rest, so remember your limits today. Capricorn. Today's energies support creative expression, dear Capricorn. Seeing past patterns can help bring perspective to your projects and endeavors. However, it's also a good idea to avoid impulsive acts. Entertain big ideas, but wait and see before committing. A Mars-Jupiter square influencing the day can point to a loaded, animated time with friends or a busy time for being in demand. You may like the attention, but you could also feel a little overwhelmed or restless. Capture the enthusiasm of the day and enjoy it, but take the edge off. The pressure to push something forward can lead to mistakes, or you could end up feeling that you're in over your head or you've taken on too much. This can leave you feeling swamped rather than inspired. You might also be spending or indulging too much as you have less concern for your future self and care more about the moment. Moderation is the key now, as challenging as it may be to practice today. Aquarius. There can be an illuminating moment today, dear Aquarius, and problem solving with family, home, and money matters is creative. However, the day's transits are not ideal for hard and fast decision making. What you say and do today has more impact than usual, but your delivery may need some attention since people do not see things clearly, and it's all too easy to rush. Underlying tension and discomfort with the status quo can lead you towards impractical ventures and even cause you to make rash decisions. Aim to wind yourself down when you feel that you're getting worked up over trivial matters, but aim to tap into the enthusiasm of the day's transits. The moon moves into your sign today, and you begin to prioritize your emotional needs and concerns. Pisces. Today is suitable for creative thinking and putting your unique perspective and viewpoint to good use, dear Pisces. Distractions can prevent you from reaching a conclusion at times, but it's best not to lock something down under today's sometimes murky transits. However, don't let go of the creative process since challenges to your thinking can lead to interesting mental detours. Aim to avoid overreaching and overcommitting right now. Optimism can lead you to think you can do more than is possible. While your enthusiasm runs high, misjudgment is possible. Certainly, routines are harder to bear than usual, and if you seek out more tasks to add to your life, you could end up quite overloaded. You may only need to vary your routine to keep levels of excitement high. Watch for overstating your case or getting so worked up about a difference in opinion that you can't wind yourself down.